Lesson Cell Structure and Function. As the name of the chapter indicates, that cell is the structural and the functional unit of life. Means structure wise all the living organisms are basically made up of cells, and function wise also it is this small unit which is doing the function. As a result, a living organism is surviving. Let's study about plant cell. So this is a diagram of plant cell. In this diagram you need to see what are the various parts of a plant cell. Plant cell with the various parts are cytoplasm, plasma membrane, cell wall, nuclear membrane, nucleolus, nucleus, centrosome, ribosome, chloroplast, amyloplast, mitochondria, Golgi bodies, vacuoles, smooth endoplasmic reticulum and rough endoplasmic reticulum. So we will be studying about all these parts of the plant cell. Next is animal cell. This is a diagram of animal cell. So let's look at the parts of animal cell also. Cell membrane, endoplasmic reticulum, ribosomes, cytoplasm, mitochondrion, Golgi bodies, nucleolus, nucleus, centrioles and lysosomes. So these are the various cell organelles. We will be studying about all these cell organelles in detail. Now let's have a look at a comparative study of plant and animal cell. So in this picture you can see on left hand side there is a plant cell and on the right hand side is a animal cell. So here we can compare them and we can simultaneously differentiate also what are the differences and what are the similarities. So let's start with that. First is the cell membrane. So cell membrane is present in both plant cell also, it's present in animal cell also. So what is the function of a cell membrane? To control what moves in and out of the cell. So it's the outermost boundary of a cell. So it controls that what is going to enter into the cell and what is going to come out of the cell. So that's why it's called as a selectively permeable membrane. So it's selective in nature, it's choosy in nature. It doesn't allow everything to enter into the cell, because if everything is going to enter into the cell, harmful things can also enter and can damage the cell. Next cell organelle that need to study is mitochondria. So mitochondria is present both in plant cell also and in animal cell also. So it's being labeled. You can have a look on the cell organelle. We call it as cell organelle because it's a part of cell. So it's present in both. What is the function of mitochondria? Where respiration takes place. So this is a cell organelle where respiration takes place. Means the food combines with oxygen and changes into carbon dioxide, water and energy. So that energy is stored by cells in the form of ATP. Adenosine triphosphate is its full form. And with the help of this energy, all the entire activities of metabolic reaction, whatever processes are going on inside a cell takes place because of this energy. Next cell organelle that we are talking about is nucleus. So nucleus is also present in both. It's present in plant cell also. It's present in animal cell also. What is the function of a nucleus? Contains DNA and controls the function of the cell. Nucleus is called as the brain of the cell. So it is basically the most important cell organelle. It gives command to the cell to do various types of function. It contains DNA, which is the genetic material, and this genetic material is being transferred from one cell to another during cell division when cell divides, and from one cell, two cells are being formed at that time. Nucleus also produces its replica, it produces one more nucleus and has the same genetic material. So it's present in both and is a very important cell organelle. Next is ribosomes. Ribosomes is also present both in plant cell also, it's present in animal cell also. And what is the function of ribosomes? So function of ribosome is it is a site where protein synthesis occurs. So you may be wondering why protein synthesis is occurring here. Protein synthesis means making of protein. So you may be thinking that we take protein in food, why our cells are making the proteins. When we take protein in food, that protein cannot be used by our body. Our body needs a different type of protein. So what our body does is, the protein that we take in the form of food is digested and is broken down into amino acids. Proteins are polymers of amino acids. After digestion, they break down into amino acids, and these amino acids reach cell, where cell is going to rearrange these amino acids to form new type of proteins which living organisms need. So basically they are again assembling, they are again joining the amino acids to make a new type of proteins which our body needs. Next is cytoplasm. So cytoplasm is a site where the majority of activities take place. So this you need to understand a little more. So look at the structure. So this black outlining boundary, this is the cell membrane. Got it? So the outermost lining, this is the cell membrane. This is the nucleus. Now whatever space is between cell membrane and in between the nucleus, so this blue portion, so this entire light blue portion, whether it is in animal cell or the light blue portion in the plant cell, this is cytoplasm. So all the cell organelles like mitochondria, ribosomes and many more such cell organelles, they are basically in cytoplasm. So cytoplasm is a jelly like substance. So all the cell organelles are in the cytoplasm and they do various types of functions. So if you remove nucleus, so you will see the remaining part. So basically we divide cell into three main categories: cell membrane, cytoplasm, nucleus. And where remaining all the cell organelles actually are present in the cytoplasm. So now let's look at the next cell organelle, cell wall. So you can see that marking is showing over here. We are not showing any marking over here. So cell wall is actually present only in plant cell. It is not present in animal cell at all. So this gives you the differences also. So these 5 are present in both. This is the similarity. Whereas these are only present in plant cell. So they are shown with green color. So whatever is different in plant and animal cell is shown with green boxes, whereas whatever is similar is shown with the blue boxes. So let's talk about cell wall now. So cell wall, plant cell has a cell membrane, but one more additional covering is there in plant cell. So this one is the cell membrane, and after that this portion, the broader one, this is the cell wall. So it has an additional covering. What is the function of cell wall? It is made up of actually cellulose and strengthen the cell. So it gives a strength to the cell because they need extra strength because their function is different from animal cell. Like animals can move from one place to another. If they feel that it is too hot, they can go in shade. But plants, they have to remain in the sun. They can't change their place. They have to bear all the wear and tears, all the weather climate conditions they have to bear, so they need extra covering. So this strengthens the cell. So it's actually made up of cellulose. Cellulose you have seen in paper. Cellulose is present in actually wood. Wood is actually basically cellulose, cotton fiber, and cellulose is also present in roughage. Next cell organelle, which is vacuoles. So vacuoles is basically only present in plant cell. It's not present in animal cell. If at all it is present in small size. Basically it's mostly present in plant cell and are bigger in size also. They are so big that they have pushed nucleus to one of the side. So what is a vacuole? Vacuole is a space filled with cell sap which keeps the cell turgid. Now you need to understand. So vacuole is actually an empty space, and this empty space actually stores cell sap. As plant cell is capable of producing their own food by the process of photosynthesis, so they need to store that food. So they store it in vacuoles, and so one more function other than storing, what function it does it maintains the shape of the cell. So turgid means giving a proper shape to the cell. Then is the third cell organelle that we are talking about is chloroplast. So chloroplast is also a cell organelle which is only present in plant cell. It's not present in animal cell at all. What is the function of this cell organelle? Chloroplast contains chlorophyll and location of photosynthesis. So the function of chloroplast is to perform photosynthesis, preparing food. So as only plants can prepare their own food, so it's present only in plant cell. So you need to remember this, what are the cell organelles present in plant cell and what are the cell organelles present in animal cell, what are the similarities which is present in both, and what are the cell organelles which are present only in plant cell. Now question round. Who discovered cell? Do you remember who discovered cell? It was Robert Hooke who discovered cell. Who discovered nucleus? Who discovered nucleus? It was Robert Brown who discovered. And who discovered protoplasm? This is a homework for you. Find it out. If you have watched the PPTs and the videos properly, you will be able to. Now let's talk about cell membrane in detail. Cell membrane functions is a semi-permeable membrane that allows the transmission of very few molecules across it. It gives shape to the cell. The plasma membrane is porous and allows the movement of substances or the material in and out of the cell. So what does it mean? It means that it is selectively permeable. It has selective means choosy. It's not going to allow everything to enter into it. It's basically made up of lipids and it's made up of proteins. You can have a look on the structure. So it's very selective, that which particles has to be allowed to enter into the cell and which particles is not to be allowed to be entering into the cell. What are the functions of a cell membrane? First function, cell membrane provides support to the cell. So it provides support, strength. It provides strength to the cell. It is helpful in exchange of material. As I told, it's selective in nature, so it's going to help in exchange of materials. That what are the material that plant cell or animal cell wants that it should enter into the cell, and what are the things which should go out. So it's going to help in exchange of material. It gives shape to the cell. So the third function is that it gives shape to the cell. Cell wall. Cell wall is actually the outermost membrane, and it is a dead and a freely permeable membrane. What do we mean by telling this? That actually it is a non-living by nature, and second thing, it allows everything to come into the cell and it allows everything to go out of the cell. So that is the nature of it. So it is thick layer and present only in the cell of a plant. It is present only in a plant cell. It is not at all present in a animal cell. Cell wall is made up of cellulose, but in fungus cell it is made up of chitin. So it's made up of some other material, whereas in all the remaining plant cells it's made up of cellulose. In addition to cell wall, cell membrane is also required by the plants for protection against the variation in temperature, high wind speed and atmospheric moisture. So as we have earlier also talked, that cell membrane is present in both plant cell and animal cell, but in plant cell along with cell membrane they have an additional layer of cell wall also, which is a dead and a freely permeable layer. The benefit of cell membrane for plant cell will be that it is going to protect the cell from the variation of temperature, because plants cannot move, as they cannot move from one place to another. So when it is too hot, they have to stay outside only. They can't go somewhere else that they can go home and enjoy the AC. So they have to bear all these things. So sometimes it's too hot, sometimes it's too cold, sometimes it is windy, sometimes it is stormy, sometimes it is rainy. So all these changes they have to bear. So they need this extra layer of cell wall. But as cell wall is not selective in nature and it is dead in nature, so it is cell membrane which is going to protect the cell from the variation of temperature. Variation means changes of temperature. Whenever the wind is very high during storm and cyclones, you may have seen that even the trees, they fall down, because definitely they have to bear all these pressures when they are outside. So atmospheric moisture also, sometimes there are too much of moisture like in rainy seasons. So all these things plants have to bear. So they have these type of two layers. So both the layers are going to help them in some or the other way, so that plant can survive in such type of conditions. So cells can be observed in various types of leaves. So few plants have been mentioned here whose leaves are being used to observe the cells of the plants, because these plants, they show a very clear pictures of the cell. Function of a cell wall. So there are three main functions of a cell wall. Number one, it provides mechanical support to the cell. So it strengthens the cell. So it gives support to the cell, mechanical support. Second, it allows all the substances to pass through it. So as cell membrane is selective, cell wall is not selective like that. So cell wall allows everything to go in and out. 3, it maintains the shape of the cell. So it helps in maintaining the shape of the cell. Cell membrane. The outermost body of the cell is called as a cell membrane. Cell membrane is made up of lipids, proteins. It is present in both plant and animal cell. This membrane is living, thin and delicate. The cell membrane is semi-permeable membrane. It allows the transmission, means transfer of a very few molecules across it. The plasma membrane, the cell membrane, is porous and allows the movement of substances or the materials in and out of the cell. So we have already done also, so it's a repetition, that the cell membrane is selectively permeable. Basically it is made up of lipids and proteins. It is present in both plants and animal cell. It's very delicate, basically nature wise living, because plant cell has an additional layer also, which is cell wall, which is non-living in nature. And cell wall basically helps in transfer of molecules in and out. So is selectively in nature, doesn't allow all the molecules to go in and out. So it takes care that which molecule should go in and which should go. Cytoplasm. So now let's look at the cytoplasm. What is cytoplasm? Cytoplasm is a jelly-like substance present between the cell membrane and the nucleus. So whatever is present between the nucleus and the cell membrane is called as a cytoplasm, and it is jelly-like substance. Various cell organelles of the cells are present in the cytoplasm are mitochondria, Golgi bodies, ribosomes, lysosomes, endoplasmic reticulum, and many such cell organelles are present here. In the picture also you can see. So they are labeled. So actually it's present everywhere. It's present everywhere. So outermost lining, this lining is the cell membrane. This one is the nucleus. So in between this nucleus and the cell membrane, so entire portion, this portion is the cytoplasm. So various cell organelles are present in the cytoplasm. The entire content of living cells, including cytoplasm and nucleus, is known as the protoplasms. Everything that is present in the cell except the cell membrane comes under the protoplasm. So protoplasm is living material of the cell, or the entire content of the living cell, including the cytoplasm and the nucleus, is known as the protoplasm. Protoplasm is further divided into two parts, cytoplasm and nucleus. So now let's understand it more easily. This is cell membrane, this is nucleus. So whatever is present in between the cell membrane and the nucleus is called as a cytoplasm. Now we'll try to understand what is protoplasm. So cytoplasm plus nucleus will be called as protoplasm. So what is being excluded when we talk about protoplasm? So it is only cell membrane that is excluded, because when we broadly classify cell, it is cell membrane, cytoplasm and nucleus. So together makes the cell. So when we talk about cytoplasm, that means we are talking about all the cell organelle also which is present in the cytoplasm. But when we talk only about cytoplasm and nucleus, then we use a term protoplasm. So protoplasm means cytoplasm plus nucleus. Cell is regarded as the true biological atom because it is this unit which is actually making the living organism living. It is only this unit which is working, and until and unless this particular unit is working, the living organism will remain living. And as soon as this unit, which is the smallest structural and functional unit of life, is not working, the living organism dies.